What's good, family? It's your brother Mad Black, and I'm black up in your face again with some more pro-black commentary. So, I saw a video from Officer Tatum, aka Brandon Tatum, and he's doing a video commentary on this flash mob in at a 7-Eleven in Los Angeles. And he's talking about how bad the people are. And he's titled the video, "Why is it always people of color doing this?" That's the title of the video, by the way. But, first let me just say this. The only reason I even saw this video is because I did that video last week talking about the rapper Kevin Gates. And I told you I looked up a lot of black conservatives who were agreeing with Kevin Gates saying that black people are the problem. So Brandon Tatum was one of those black conservatives I saw going that route. So now YouTube is sending me more of this jerks videos, and I really need to make sure that after this video in particular, that I go through my algorithm and kind of cleanse this scumbag out of there, because I really don't want to see any more Brandon Tatum videos, because I really don't like him. And if I keep seeing his videos, it's going to make me say something on YouTube that's going to get me banned from the platform. Okay, that's how much disgust I feel when I look at this fool and hear his rhetoric. Okay, so I'm this last report I hopefully should do on anything that Brandon Tatum says, but he was doing a video talking about this flash mob, and like I said, it happened out in Los Angeles. You got a lot of young black people just running into a store. Well, it's not young black people. There's some black people in there, but it's mostly Latinos as well. So it's Latinos, black people. They're all running into the store, and they're just stealing stuff at random. They jump over the counter. They're stealing cigarettes, food, snacks, whatever. This is not the first time this has happened. There have been little flash mobs like this going on everywhere, and this is something very stupid and very ignorant that young people do. And I would recommend that any young person do not do this. Do not do this, okay? Because it can end terribly. It can end terribly for you, and you'll have scumbags like Brandon Tatum using this as a way to brand black children or Latino children as evil, as bad, and they're the only ones that do this, quote unquote. Now, we all know white kids do this as well. I've seen white teenagers do this. In fact, one of the biggest demographics of teenagers who are known for theft are white teenagers, more specifically, white teenage girls. They're known for shoplifting. All right, but that you never hear that reported because it's always they're always looking at Keisha or or Tanisha stealing weaves or something like that from a store, or taking clothes off a rack and stuffing them under her dress. That's who the media focuses on. But little Becky and Chloe are also committing acts of theft at a lot of these department stores. They do it a lot, and they do it even when they're adults later on. Okay. Well, I was about to say they also uh, there's also a thing of white women stealing children as well, but I'm not going to get into that here. That's like a whole true crime thing that I can get into. But I see a lot of stories like that as well, where you got white women stealing other women's children or inviting pregnant women over to their house and killing the pregnant woman and taking the baby out the womb and whatnot. That's a whole new thing I can go into, but that's not what this video is about. Let me just stick to this and stay on topic. But but I found it interesting that Brandon Tatum will report on this story and say, it's always people of color who do this. And let's listen to a little bit of his dialogue so you can hear what he actually says about the young people in this video. Let's listen.
Look at them videotaping it. I mean, this is just degeneracy. People are rooted in degeneracy. You can't fix this stuff.
He says these people are rooted in degeneracy. I want you to keep that in mind because you're going to hear where I'm going with this in a little bit.
There's no amount of legislation. There's no amount of nothing. This is a heart and a parenting issue. This is when you have a place where single mamas and all this other stuff, people that haven't got no daddy.
Okay, so single mamas and people who ain't got no daddy. Okay, keep that in mind. Some of you probably already know where I'm going with this. I'm talking about a black conservative saying this, but just keep listening.
All of that is compiled into a crescendo of behavior that occurs in these inner city communities. Look at
It only happens in these inner city communities. Let's listen. Let's listen some more.
look at the way they're acting. These people are uncivilized.
Really? Okay. So Brandon Tatum said this is a result of single mothers, no daddies. These people are uncivilized. They're steeped in degeneracy. Okay, fine. Let's say all that is true. And at the beginning of the video, I didn't play it, but he said that people always want to blame the white man. It's not the white man's fault. He's like, but you guys, you tear down your own community. Basically, that's what he was saying at the beginning of the video. So if all that is true, what was the white conservative excuse for January the 6th? What was their problem then? See, I told you when that incident happened, I'm not going to let that go. I'm not going to let that fly and let white people get away with that one, okay? Because that was something that got the world's attention. They couldn't hide that one. See, when they had their little soccer riots or their riots at these concerts and whatnot, they just made a little documentary about all the nonsense that happened at Woodstock 1999. That all the little when they get mad at these polling places, or if their favorite team wins or their favorite team loses or whatever, usually that doesn't make the news, or they don't categorize that as a riot or a flash mob or whatever, right? But what happened on January 6th, that got the world's attention. Everyone got to see that, okay? Because it happened at the nation's capital. You couldn't hide that one. You couldn't hide that at all. And I told you when it happened on my old channel, I was never going to let that go. I'm always going to bring that up. So anytime these conservatives talk trash about black people doing anything, I'm always going to bring up the January 6th attack on the Capitol, which was actually treason. All those fools should have been locked in prison, but they're white, so they got away with it. Okay, they stormed the Capitol, climbed up the walls like monkeys. They were throwing feces like monkeys in that place. They were going in there to kidnap and attack different politicians. This one dude had twisty ties and tasers. That one chick got her head blown off trying to break through the into the Capitol room, into the voting room, because she didn't want to back down. The cops told her to back down several times. She didn't listen, so they put some ventilation in her body and her head. And people got all upset and brokenhearted about that. But she was breaking the law. She didn't comply, so I don't see what the big deal is. But now here you have Brandon Tatum talking about this flash mob, and like I said, I'm not here to excuse that type of behavior. I think that's young people being stupid. They see something on the internet, so they all want to do it. But I'm not going to make it seem like they are the worst people on earth for doing it. You had grown adults at the Capitol doing it. Now I can almost understand why these young people are doing something stupid like that. They're young, making a dumb mistake. They should not be doing that. But what was the mayonnaise mutant excuse? The adult mayonnaise mutant excuse when they were at the Capitol, and they were causing trouble because their official that they liked, or their politician that they liked, didn't win the election like they thought he should have, because things didn't go the way that they wanted things to go. So they decided to break the law and try to change things with violence. And they wound up making asses of themselves and making an ass of America. And the whole Trump movement got shown for the lunacy that it truly is on that day. But like I said, Brandon Tatum, he won't bring that up. I think he did do a video about January 6th, and what he did was he tried to make it seem like he was mad at Trump and the Republicans for not sticking with those people, for not for turning their backs on those people. He said Trump got them hyped up, but then the Republicans and Trump kind of turned their back on those people. And then he tried to lessen it by saying, oh, most of the people out there were there for a peaceful protest. He even tried to add some conspiracy theory in there, saying that they let those people go into those buildings. They were unchallenged. Okay, Brandon Scrotum. But like I said, you folks can let me know how you feel about this in the comment section. Well, before I go, let me just take a look at this. Let me take a look at this first. Let me look at Brandon Scrotum's comment section on this video. Now, the video almost has 1 million views, by the way. And that's another thing. These conservative black buffoons, they got all types of subscribers for their channels. White people love them because, like I said, they're called bigot-proof vests. They're there to excuse white racism and bigotry because the black person who's too dumb or who's just running a scam just has the same mindset as they do. But let's look at the comment section here and see what some of these fools have to say. One of them says, I can't express my utter shock to see the race of the perpetrators. And of course, Brandon, he gives that a heart. He pinned that comment. He loves that comment. He loves tearing down people of color or black people. So of course he liked that comment. And he says, here's another one by Metal Fan. If you're a black person and you want to defeat racism and put it into your responsibility. That's how he says it. That's how he writes it. I'm not making that up. It is your responsibility to prove them wrong by not behaving like a negative stereotype. So all black people are responsible for this nonsense going on in this flash mob. Here's another quote. Finally, a proud black man speaking up about the failings occurring here. Thank you for your courage, candor, and eloquence in talking about the issue. Basically, thank you, Brandon, for being a buck dancing coon. Thank you, Brandon. Let's see what else we got here. I'm going to read one more and then just leave. This is a good one here. And I think this is by a person of color, too. This might be a black African writing this comment. The only thing that was left untouched was the job applications. So this comment section is basically one racist comment after another. And, yours truly did leave a comment on the page. And like I said, this is probably the last time I'm going to be messing around with anything Brandon Tatum does. But I said, I guess flash mobbing is only okay when your favorite rich politician doesn't win the election. And I noticed no one liked that one, but I mean, I'm not surprised by that either. No one's going to like my comment, and Brandon's definitely not going to pin that comment because I've always left some comments on his channel years ago, and I was always right, and usually he tries to get me off his channel, but we'll see how long this account, this comment stays on his channel. But you folks let me know how you feel about it in the comment section. Anyway, Mad Black, and I will be back on my foot on these devils' back.